We are Sarah and Liam Chapman, and our daughter Eliza was stillborn back in 2018.
Sarah was 5 days overdue and went into natural labour, and it was when we got into hospital we found out that Eliza no longer had a heartbeat. We went home for a few hours and then went back later on, and Sarah gave birth to Eliza naturally.
We were devastated. Our whole world came crashing down. We didn't know what to think. We would go to sleep and just wake up and hope that it was a nightmare, and then quickly would realize that this was our new reality. Those early days of grief were just so difficult. We spent so much time just crying and holding each other and talking about her. We were really good about talking about her to each other and to others.
The beginning was particularly tough for both of us, and we almost felt like we were on our own, even though we did have support from family and friends, but sort of inside your own four walls it was very tough, but we were always there for each other, and I think it helped that when one of us was really down, the other one was there to sort of pick the other one up, so that helped quite a lot.
So to handle my grief, one thing I loved doing was just linking in with other bereaved parents. So I went physically to groups both around Norwich and around Kings Lynn, and met up with other mums and dads that knew exactly how I was feeling, had that same loss and missing person in their life. I found that really comforting. Liam was always super supportive. He never came with me to the groups, but he was always encouraging me because he knew that I always got something really good out of the group, and I always came back feeling a bit uplifted. Like Liam said previously, we were always really supported by our family and friends, but it's completely different when they don't know what you're experiencing. They can only be there for you as much as they can. It's totally different looking into the eyes of someone else that has lost a baby that's been dreamt of and loved so much from the day you saw your pregnancy test, to you then both know how that feels. And I always took a lot of comfort from that, and encouragement as well. We were always there for each other. We could message each other. Around the same time, I also started our online community presence with our account, Our Little Snowdrop, and that was really comforting too, just reading other people's stories and kind of what they were doing with their grief, what were positive ways of channeling that, and also just being really realistic, because even if you're trying to put a positive spin on it, losing your child or having your child die, there's nothing positive about that in itself. So just knowing that other people were being really honest, saying that it's a really terrible situation, but let's do something good from it.
A couple of things that really helped me with my grief, firstly was going back to work, which I really do enjoy my work anyway. I have a lot of friends in the company. I think just getting back to sort of your everyday life helped quite a lot. Not to sort of forget about what's happened, but just to sort of get into a routine. I think it helped me feel a bit more normal. And also, I'm a keen fisherman anyway, so I do tend to go sort of once a week fishing, and spend the night, which is good. It's good just to go and chill out. I think it's just good for me. It's helped me get through that.
A couple months down the line, our grief was still all-consuming. That first year was incredibly difficult. We just spent lots of time fundraising. We ran lots of races in Eliza's name. We just wanted to get the baby loss awareness out there for people. We didn't know anybody before us really that had a stillborn baby, so we just wanted to let people know that still happens nowadays. Another big thing that really helped us was having some counselling. We had counselling through Time Norfolk, and that was really important to me that we did that as a couple. So Liam agreed to come with me, and he actually found it really beneficial as well. So we did that as a couple for a length of time. And then when Liam felt, pretty good, he stopped the counselling sessions, and I continued doing it myself with the counsellor, and I found that really beneficial to focus on my own needs and where I was at being a grieving mother.
I think in baby loss there's a certain expectation that the man has to be strong and be there for the family, but it's very important that you do get to grieve as well. You just got to let your feelings out. I was still there for Sarah, and she was equally there for me.
It's been 3.5 years since Eliza was stillborn, so our grief is very much like different than it was at the start. Well, actually no, I think the grief's probably the same. It's still the same pain. We've just learned how to carry that. We've become stronger in the sense that we know how to build our lives around it. We still have days where it just feels so fresh. But for the most part, we've figured out how to incorporate that into our lives daily and to include her as much as we can as our first daughter. Our well-being is still really, really important to us. So Liam and I just try to remain really honest, and when we're having those really sad days, we just try to be open with each other and be there for one another. Usually it just involves like a really big hug and just agreeing that we understand how the other one is feeling. Liam still is full on in his fishing mode and loves spending time at the lake. He finds it really peaceful and relaxing. He gets joy out of it, and he can remain close to Eliza through fishing. And I'm still going to baby loss groups and continuing to build relationships with other people that are grieving, and also trying to do something really positive through our grief.